Welcome. If you've come seeking the secret to wealth, know this. You already possess it. The power lies within your imagination. Tonight, we journey inward to the source of all riches. Feeling is the secret. It is not the words you speak, but the emotions you carry to manifest wealth. Feel the joy, the ease, the freedom of being rich. Do this, and wealth must appear. Assume the feeling of being wealthy now. Do not wait for the money to come. Live in the end. Wealth is a state of consciousness. Enter it, embody it, and the world will arrange itself to reflect your assumption. You are not waiting for money to appear in your life. You are shifting into the state where it already has. You are not hoping for abundance to find you. You are embodying the wealth that is already yours. The secret is not in wanting financial freedom, but in assuming it as your present reality. When you assume the feeling of financial abundance, you do not chase prosperity. You do not beg the universe for more. You do not struggle to make ends meet. You simply exist in the consciousness of unlimited supply. Look around you, not with the eyes of lack, but with the vision of complete abundance. You do not need to see money physically to know it is real. The unseen wealth is more powerful than the visible emptiness of your wallet. For all material wealth was once only imagined. The moment you claim abundance in consciousness, it is already yours. The world is only a reflection, a mirror that will rearrange itself according to your inner state of wealth or poverty. You must walk, speak, and think from the place of already having the financial abundance you desire. If wealth is what you seek, carry yourself with the confidence of one who is already wealthy. If prosperity is what you desire, move through the world as one who is already prosperous and free. You do not ask for what is already yours. You live in the knowing that financial abundance is done. The mind is the womb of creation, and every assumption of wealth hardens into fact. Doubt has no place in this reality. Fear of lack is an illusion created by attachment to appearances. When you persist in the assumption of already having unlimited supply, circumstances lose their power over you. The outer world may show you bills unpaid. It may show you a small balance in your account. But you must remain unmoved, knowing that your assumption, when unwavering, must solidify into physical wealth. Change begins in silence in the unseen realm of consciousness. You do not need permission from the world to become financially free. You only need to give yourself permission to assume the state now. The world will follow. The key to transforming your financial reality is not in waiting for external conditions to change, but in assuming the feeling of already having the abundance you desire. This is not about wishing, hoping, or pleading for more money. It is about knowing, accepting, and embodying wealth consciousness. When you assume the state of financial fulfillment, you do not act as someone longing for a better financial situation. You move as if abundance is already yours. You do not chase after prosperity. You dwell in it mentally, emotionally, and spiritually until the world catches up. Every manifestation of wealth begins in the unseen realm. The abundance you desire already exists, but it is waiting for you to align with it. The moment you claim it within yourself, the process begins. Most people believe they must first see money before they can feel financially secure. But the truth is the opposite. You must first feel abundant before abundance becomes visible. The outer world is only a reflection of the inner state. It is like a mirror. It does not create your financial reality. It simply reflects what you assume to be true. When you hold an image in your mind of overflowing abundance and persist in the feeling of already possessing it, your subconscious mind accepts it as fact. It does not argue, it does not doubt, it simply follows the blueprint you impress upon it. This is why assumption is so powerful in creating wealth. The moment you assume a state of abundance and fully dwell in it, everything in your world begins to shift. People, events, and circumstances will unconsciously align to bring that assumption into form. To assume the feeling of financial fulfillment is to let go of the idea that you are separate from wealth. There is no gap between you and abundance except the one you create by thinking it is not yet yours. The feeling of already having prosperity dissolves that separation. When you no longer see yourself as someone in lack, but instead as someone who already possesses unlimited supply. You move differently. Your words change. Your actions align. The energy you carry shifts. You stop looking for signs of money coming because you know the signs will come. You stop asking because you already have. Doubt and fear about your finances cannot exist when you are fully immersed in your new state of abundance. The mind may try to pull you back to the old reality, presenting reasons why your bank account shows otherwise. But you must not waver. You must persist in the feeling, refusing to let appearances dictate your state. The world is simply showing you past assumptions about money playing out. If you remain unmoved by what seems to be the new assumption will solidify into fact. Many people struggle with manifesting wealth because they are conditioned to react to their current financial situation instead of directing it. But the truth is that the world is always responding to your consciousness about money, not the other way around. When you assume a state of abundance, life organizes itself to match that assumption. If you assume you are prosperous, you will begin to attract prosperity in many forms. If you assume financial freedom, opportunities will appear that align with that belief. But if you assume lack, struggle, or financial worry, the world will mirror those assumptions back to you. When you begin to live from the unseen state of abundance, you no longer need physical proof to believe in your wealth. You are not moved by what your bank statements show because you know that the world is delayed in its response. The seed of assumption must be planted and nurtured before it breaks through the soil. Just because you cannot yet see the money does not mean it is not growing beneath the surface. The oak tree is already contained within the acorn, even before it emerges. In the same way, your financial abundance is already complete in the unseen, even before it materializes. The mind, conditioned by the physical world, struggles with this concept. It wants immediate validation, tangible evidence of wealth before belief. But this is backward thinking. The law is simple. Assume first, and the world will follow. If you wait for your financial situation to change before you believe in your abundance, you will wait forever. But the moment you claim it internally without needing proof, the process begins. You must persist in the unseen, even when the world tells you otherwise. There will be moments when circumstances seem to contradict your assumption of wealth. You may feel doubt creeping in when bills arrive or unexpected expenses occur. But understand this, the outer world is slow to catch up to new assumptions, and the appearance of financial opposition is often just a final echo of old beliefs fading away. The wise do not react to appearances of lack. They remain faithful to the unseen abundance. They know that reality is not determined by what is visible in their bank account, but by what is imagined with conviction. Think of those who have transformed their financial circumstances. The greatest business leaders, investors, and creators all saw abundance in their minds before anyone else could see it in their lives. They did not rely on the evidence of the present moment. They created a new future by believing in what was not yet seen. They acted from their vision of abundance, not from their circumstances of limitation. They understood that the unseen wealth was the true reality, and they persisted until the world had no choice but to conform. This is the secret to all financial transformation. You are not separate from the abundance you desire. It exists within you now. The only question is whether you will assume it into being. When you embrace the unseen abundance as more real than the seen lack, you move with certainty through life. You do not ask when prosperity will come because you already know it is here. You do not seek financial solutions because you have found them. You do not hope for a better financial future because you are living it now. The world is only a reflection, and reflections take time to shift. But when you hold your assumption of wealth without wavering, the mirror must eventually reveal the new image of prosperity. The unseen abundance is not distant. It is immediate. It is not imaginary. It is the only true reality. The moment you realize this, you stop reacting to financial pressure and start creating financial freedom. The moment you accept that the unseen holds everything you desire, you live from it. And when you live from it, the world must bow to your assumption of wealth. The power of feeling cannot be overstated when manifesting financial abundance. It is the bridge between the unseen wealth and the seen prosperity, the energy that transforms imagination into financial reality. Thought alone is not enough to create abundance. It is the feeling behind the thought that gives it life. You may tell yourself 1,000 times that you are wealthy, but if the feeling within you contradicts that statement, the words are empty. It is not what you say about your finances, but what you feel to be true that shapes your economic world. The subconscious mind does not respond to mere affirmations of abundance. It responds to the emotions you embody. The feeling is the secret. Every moment you are radiating a feeling, whether consciously or unconsciously, about your financial state. That feeling is like a signal broadcasting to the universe what you expect, what you believe, and what you assume to be real about your wealth. If you want to change your financial life, you must change the signal you are sending out. The feeling must match the prosperity you wish to experience. You cannot feel lack and expect abundance. You cannot feel financially insecure and expect wealth. You cannot feel anxiety about money and expect prosperity. The external world of your finances is always a reflection of the dominant emotions you carry within about money. This is why assumption must be felt. If you assume wealth, but feel doubt, the feeling of doubt will win. If you assume abundance, but feel unworthy, the feeling of unworthiness will manifest in your financial reality. The subconscious mind is not tricked by words. It takes orders from the emotions behind them. The key is to generate within yourself the same feeling you would have if your desire for financial freedom were already fulfilled. You must dwell in the emotional state of the wish fulfilled, living in the joy, the relief, the satisfaction of already having unlimited abundance. This is not daydreaming or fantasizing about wealth. It is a deliberate and sustained shift in your inner state. It is the art of mentally and emotionally placing yourself in the position of already being the prosperous person you wish to become. When you do this correctly, the feeling becomes so real that the outer world must respond. Your bank account, your business, your investments, all must mirror the internal reality of abundance you have established. This is the law. The challenge for many people is that they are used to reacting to what they see in their financial statements, rather than generating the feeling from within. They look at their bills, their debts, their limited income, and let those conditions dictate how they feel about money. But the law works in reverse. It is the feeling that comes first, and the financial conditions follow. This means you must learn to feel wealthy, independent of circumstances. You must train yourself to hold the feeling of financial success even when the world tells you otherwise. You must hold the feeling of abundance even when your wallet is empty. You must hold the feeling of prosperity even when facing financial challenges. This is how reality shifts. There is no need to force these feelings. The subconscious mind does not respond to strain or effort. The best way to generate the feeling of financial fulfillment is through imagination. Close your eyes and enter a scene in which your desire for abundance is already a reality. Make it vivid. See the details of your wealthy life. Hear the sounds of success. Touch the textures of prosperity. But most importantly, feel the emotions of already having unlimited supply. Let the joy, the gratitude, the security of financial freedom flood your body. Let it become so real within you that when you open your eyes, your current financial situation feels like the dream. When you can do this consistently, the bridge of events will unfold naturally, leading you to your desired wealth. Doubt may arise when you look at your current financial state, but it has no power unless you give it attention. The mistake many people make is that they feel financially abundant for a moment and then immediately check their bank account for confirmation. When they do not see immediate change, they return to their old feelings of lack and financial worry. But this interrupts the process. The outer world takes time to rearrange itself according to your new assumption about money. Your job is to remain faithful to the feeling regardless of appearances. The longer you sustain the feeling of wealth, the faster the world must align. Imagine a person who has just received a large sum of money or achieved complete financial freedom. Their body is light. Their energy is high. Their movements are relaxed. They are not waiting for abundance to happen. They are basking in the joy of it already being done. This is the feeling you must cultivate even before the evidence appears in your bank account. The world must conform, it is law. Many believe they must work hard, struggle, or fight for financial security. But creation is effortless when you master the art of feeling. The person who truly feels financially fulfilled does not need to chase or beg. Their inner state attracts the outer conditions naturally. The opportunities, people, and circumstances that match their new feeling will be drawn to them without force. It may seem like coincidence or luck to others, but it is simply the law of assumption. To sustain the feeling of abundance, make it a practice. Every morning before the world impresses its limitations upon you, enter the feeling of already having financial freedom. Throughout the day, return to it often before sleep. Let your last thoughts and emotions be those of complete prosperity. The more you make this a habit, the more natural it becomes. Soon the feeling of already having unlimited abundance will be second nature, and the world will be compelled to reflect it back to you. Feeling is the creative force. It is the key that unlocks the unseen wealth into the seen prosperity. The moment you accept this, the moment you begin to live from the feeling of already having financial abundance, is the moment your world changes. The process is not one of effort, but of surrender. Surrendering to the reality that the wealth you desire is already yours. Persistence is the bridge between imagination and financial reality. It is the unwavering commitment to the assumption that your desire for abundance is already fulfilled, regardless of what your bank account shows you. Most people approach manifestation of wealth with excitement in the beginning, but when they do not see immediate results in their finances, they begin to doubt. Doubt weakens the assumption, causing delays or even preventing the manifestation of prosperity altogether. To truly master the art of creating abundance, you must persist until what you have assumed about your finances hardens into fact. This is the key to transforming your financial life. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined about your financial state. It only accepts what is repeatedly impressed upon it. If you persist in an assumption of abundance long enough, it becomes a belief, and beliefs shape financial reality. Every condition in your financial life right now is the result of past assumptions that have solidified. If you want to change your economic situation, you must remain steadfast in your new assumption of wealth, even when your bank statements contradict it. Most people fail to manifest financial abundance because they allow external circumstances to dictate their inner state. If they do not see immediate results in their accounts, they assume their manifestation is not working, and in doing so, they reinforce the old reality of lack. But manifestation is not about reacting to what is in your wallet. It is about remaining loyal to the unseen until it becomes seen. The moment you waver in your assumption of abundance, you are planting seeds of doubt which counteract the seeds of faith you had previously sown. Think of a seed planted in the ground. When you plant it, you do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You trust that beneath the soil it is taking root and will eventually sprout. The same principle applies to manifesting prosperity. Once you assume your desire for abundance is fulfilled, you must persist in that belief without constantly looking for evidence in your accounts. The evidence will appear in time, but only if you remain faithful to the assumption. Many people mistake persistence for effort. They think persistence means constantly thinking about their financial desires or trying to force results. But true persistence is not about mental strain. It is about sustaining a state of knowing. It is the quiet conviction that what you desire in terms of wealth is already yours. It is the refusal to entertain opposing thoughts of lack or limitation. When doubt arises about your financial future, persistence means gently bringing yourself back to the state of the wish fulfilled. The world around you may initially reflect your past assumptions about money, and this is where most people give up. They see the same financial struggles, the same limitations, the same economic disappointments, and they assume nothing is changing. But the outer world is merely a reflection of past assumptions about wealth. It takes time for new assumptions to replace old ones in your financial reality. The key is to not be discouraged by what you see in your current financial situation. Ignore it. Do not stay committed to the reality of abundance you have created within, and the outer world will have no choice but to conform. Reality is not fixed. It is a fluid, ever-changing reflection of your inner state. The mistake most people make is believing that what they see in their financial world is absolute and unchangeable. They look at their current bank balance, their debts, their limited income, and assume that their past experiences, their economic limitations, and their financial struggles are set in stone. But reality is nothing more than a projection of past assumptions, and if you continue to react to it as if it is the ultimate truth about your wealth, you will remain trapped in the same cycle. To truly manifest the abundance you desire, you must learn to ignore present financial reality and trust the unseen. Ignoring present reality does not mean denying that your current financial situation exists. It means refusing to give it power over your internal state. It means understanding that what you are experiencing now is simply the result of old beliefs and assumptions about money. If you wish to change your financial life, you cannot let the current circumstances dictate what you believe is possible. You must shift your attention away from what is in your bank account and focus entirely on what is becoming. Most people struggle with manifesting abundance because they allow their senses to control them. They see a lack of money and they feel poor. They see bills piling up and they feel overwhelmed. They see financial failure and they feel hopeless. But manifestation works in reverse. What you feel and assume within eventually shapes what you experience without. If you want to see wealth, prosperity, and financial freedom, you must assume those things exist for you even when there is no physical proof in your wallet. This is where faith in the unseen comes in. Faith is not wishful thinking. It is not hoping that money will appear someday. Faith is the absolute conviction that what you have assumed about your wealth is already yours, even if there is no evidence in your accounts. It is walking through life as though your financial desires have already materialized, knowing that reality has no choice but to conform. The more you believe in the unseen abundance, the more the world around you shifts to reflect your assumption. When you look at your present financial moment and react to it emotionally, you are reinforcing it. If you see yourself struggling economically and allow feelings of frustration, doubt, or fear about money to take over, you are feeding that struggle with your energy, keeping it alive. But if you can look at the same financial situation and remain unmoved, if you can persist in the assumption that your desire for prosperity is already yours despite your current bank statement, then reality must eventually change to match your new state of being. The unseen is far more powerful than the seen. Everything that has ever existed began as an idea and an assumption, an invisible reality before it became tangible. Every fortune, every financial empire, every abundant story first existed in the mind of someone who dared to believe in it before it materialized in their bank account. The same principle applies to your own financial life. If you want prosperity to exist in your world, you must first create it within and trust that it is already set in motion. This trust in the unseen requires mental discipline. It is easy to fall into the trap of believing only what your financial statements show you. But reality is deceptive. What seems solid and unchangeable in your economic situation is actually in constant motion, shaped by your consciousness. The moment you stop giving attention to your undesired financial state and fully invest your belief in your assumption of abundance, you begin the process of transformation. Many people fear that if they ignore their current financial reality, they are being irresponsible. They worry that if they do not acknowledge their monetary struggles, debt problems, or financial failures, they will never change. But the opposite is true. By focusing on the problem of lack, you are holding it in place. By shifting your focus to the unseen reality of abundance you prefer, you are giving it life. The most responsible thing you can do is assume the best financial situation and persist in that assumption until it becomes fact. Detachment is key. You must detach from the need for immediate evidence of wealth. The moment you demand proof in your bank account, you are expressing doubt. Faith does not require proof. It creates proof. You must be willing to live in the knowing that what you desire financially is already unfolding, even when nothing around you seems to confirm it. When you develop this level of certainty, reality has no choice but to rearrange itself in your favor. A powerful technique for ignoring the present financial reality is mental revision. If something in your world contradicts your desire for abundance, do not accept it as final. Instead, mentally rewrite the scene to align with what you prefer. If you receive a bill, imagine that you received unexpected income instead. If you experience a financial setback, assume that you are experiencing a financial breakthrough. By revising undesirable economic events in your mind, you prevent them from taking deep root in your subconscious, allowing your desired reality of prosperity to take precedence. Another technique is living from the end. Instead of wishing for your financial desire, step into the feeling of already having it. If you desire wealth, do not focus on the lack of money. Focus on the feeling of financial security and freedom. If you desire prosperity, do not focus on financial struggles. Embody the feeling of being deeply prosperous and abundantly supplied. Whatever you focus on expands. So place your attention on the financial reality you want to experience, rather than the one you wish to escape. Doubt is the greatest enemy of faith. The moment you begin to question whether your financial manifestation is working, you are stepping out of the state of having and into the state of lack. Do not entertain thoughts of what if it doesn't happen. Assume it is happening. Your only job is to remain in the state of financial fulfillment, regardless of what your bank account is showing you. Your manifestation does not happen through force or effort. It happens through alignment. When your inner state is fully aligned with your assumptions of abundance, there's nothing left to do but trust. The physical world will shift naturally, often in ways you could never have predicted. Unexpected money, opportunities, and synchronicities will appear. People will show up. Circumstances will change, and everything will fall into place, because reality must reflect what you persistently assume to be true about your financial world. Patience is necessary. Just as a seed takes time to grow, so does your assumption of wealth. If you plant a seed and dig it up every day to check if it is growing, you will kill it before it has a chance to sprout. The same applies to your manifestation of abundance. You must trust that the unseen is at work and allow it to unfold in its own time. The moment you let go of the need to control the process, you open the door for financial miracles. Your ability to ignore the present financial reality and trust in the unseen determines the speed and success of your manifestation. The more you react to what is in your bank account, the more you prolong the cycle of what has been. But the more you discipline your mind to see beyond appearances, the more you step into your power as the creator of your economic reality. The seed planted in the darkness of soil does not question if it will become a tree. It does not worry about the process. It simply unfolds according to its nature. In the same way, the seed of abundance planted in your consciousness does not need your worry, your doubt, or your analysis. It simply needs your trust. Every mighty oak began as an acorn resting in darkness. Every river began as a drop of rain. Every fortune began as a thought of prosperity held steadfastly in mind. What appears solid and fixed in your financial reality is actually fluid and malleable. The world of form is not a prison to be escaped, but a canvas waiting for the brush of your assumption. When you truly understand this, freedom is yours. You are not a passive observer of your financial circumstances. You are the active creator of your abundant life. Your consciousness is the currency that buys whatever reality you desire. Spend it wisely. Invest it in the assumption of unlimited prosperity. The returns will be beyond measure. When you look back on this moment from the vantage point of your manifested wealth, you will understand that the journey was never about changing the world. It was about changing your assumptions about the world. The power has always been within you. The abundance has always been yours. The financial freedom has always belonged to you. You simply needed to claim it in consciousness first. Now you know. Now you understand. Now you possess the secret that transforms reality from the inside out. You are the operant power in your world, not your job, not the economy, not the market, not your background or education. Your assumptions create your reality. Your consciousness shapes your experience. Your feeling generates your world. You are already wealthy. You are already abundant. You are already free. You are already living the life of your dreams. You are already the embodiment of prosperity. You are already the person you wish to be. It is done. It is finished. It is complete. You walk in abundance now. You live in prosperity now. You breathe financial freedom now. You experience unlimited supply now. You are surrounded by opportunity now. You attract money effortlessly now. You express gratitude for your wealth now. You share your abundance now. You enjoy your prosperity now. The veil has been lifted. The truth has been revealed. The secret has been shared. From this moment forward, you can never return to your old patterns of thinking about money. You've crossed the threshold of awareness. The door has closed behind you. Your consciousness has expanded beyond the limitations of appearance. You see with new eyes. You understand with new clarity. You live from new assumptions. The world will have no choice but to reshape itself according to your new vision. It must. It is law. Your transformation is complete. Your abundance is assured. Your wealth is unfolding. Your prosperity is manifesting. Your financial freedom is expressing. Your old beliefs about money have dissolved. Your new reality is emerging. You are not becoming financially free. You are financially free. You are not working toward abundance. You are abundance. You are not hoping for prosperity. You are prosperity itself. The journey is over. The destination is reached. The search is complete. You have found what you were looking for. It was always within you. From this moment forward, you will never see the world the same way again. The seed has sprouted. The tree is growing. The fruit is ripening. Your harvest of unlimited abundance is guaranteed. And you need do nothing but maintain the assumption that it is already yours, because it is you've always been the creator of your financial reality. Now you consciously create the prosperity you desire. This is the ultimate power. This is the final truth. This is the eternal law. You are free.